Hi Grade 10, thanks for coming in so quietly this afternoon. Now what we're going to do today is continue on with our popular culture unit. Now you remember from the previous lessons we've had on this, we've looked at the period from 1945 to present very broadly so far, and we've thought about popular culture in music and film, and we've also looked at that transition from World War II, the time period after World War II. But today what we're going to focus on is gender roles in that period. So we're going to look at the roles of men and women and what role they've played since World War II and how they've changed from then until today. So the first thing we're going to do is have a look at these couple of pictures. On the left here, we've got a World War II poster. You may remember it from our World War II unit we just completed. So that's the American shipyard worker Rosie, and on the right we've got a picture of a lady in the 1950s. So what I want you to do is talk to the person next to you and just consider what are the contradictory messages you're getting from these images, and we'll discuss it in a moment. Okay everyone, if I can just have your attention again. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, so what did you discuss? Does anyone have any comments? What are these two pictures telling us? Who would like to comment?
I would.
Yes, Deb?
Well, that the poster is saying that the women are being strong and they're doing the men's job.
Yes, so the World War II poster, yeah, women are stepping up and they're taking on the role of men, yes. And does anyone else have a comment about the 1950s picture?
I do.
Yes, Justine.
That the women stay home and do cleaning.
Exactly. So what one picture is telling us is that women are capable of taking on those men's roles, and the other poster is showing us that women have gone back into those traditional roles of housewife or homemaker, and she looks rather happy there, just cleaning at home. Okay, thanks for your comments everyone, they were really insightful, and it shows that you're really thinking about comparing and contrasting the role of women at those different times in our past. So what we're going to do next is we're going to look at some videos, and we're going to look at the role of women and men through advertising. So just short clips, basically one from each decade, just to get some sort of idea of what role men and women were playing during these times. So what you need to do is write down quickly these questions for your own notes, and while you're doing that I'll just explain each question. So what decade was the advertisement in? Very important to note down, and I'll tell you that before we start each advertisement. Who's selling the product? Is it a male or female voiceover or a male or female salesperson? Who is the product being marketed to? Who features in the ad? As in, maybe there's a dog, maybe the kids are there, maybe it's the salesman or the wife or the husband. What social situation are the users in? Are they at work or maybe they're at home? Are there any marketing strategies to highlight the benefits of this product to the user? And do you think they're aimed at males or females more so? What does the ad suggest about the role of males and females at the time? And note down any other comments you have, because at the end of each advertisement we're going to have a couple of minutes just to quickly, if anyone's got any comments, just raise your hand and we'll have a discussion between each ad, okay? So I'll give you a few moments to quickly write down those and then we'll start. Okay, so here we've got the first ad from the 1950s.
You can see at a glance that Persil washes whiter. Only with Persil can you get that crisp, dazzling whiteness, the whiteness that makes you really proud of your wash. After all, whiteness is proof of cleanness, and nothing washes whiter than Persil. Persil cares for your hands because Persil contains more pure soap.
Look at the lovely soft suds you get with Persil now. You can even feel how much milder they are.
At washing up time, too, you'll appreciate new, gentle Persil. It keeps your hands so soft and smooth.
Okay, so let's consider our questions for that ad. So the decade was the 1950s. Now, who was selling the product?
I don't know.
Seth?
The man.
A man. Yep, a salesman. Okay, and who's using the product in the ad? Justine?
The woman.
Yes, a lady is. What social situation is it set in? Darlene?
She's at home cleaning.
So the mum's at home cleaning.
Yes.
Yep. So were there any marketing strategies within that ad that you noticed, and who were they aimed at?
It's marketed at women and to make their hands soft.
That's a great answer, because they're marketing it at women, who are the main users of the product, we can assume from that ad, and it's really important for them generally to have nice soft hands. So that's their marketing strategy that they've taken on board with that ad. Okay, so we've got one here now from later in the 1960s.
Every week, more and more women wear Bonds cottontails. Do you? And do you wear Bonds cottontails?
Yippity hop, I wear cottontails. Cottontails, Bonds cottontails, fashion free.
And you? Shh! Are you a cottontail girl?
Yippity hop.
Bonds cottontails, the lightest, softest, smoothest fashion breeds.
Okay, so some of you found that a bit funny.
The women are working.
Yeah, they are. And what type of jobs are they doing?
Office, and they're being librarians.
Yes, and let's think about that in the context of women's role in World War II to their role depicted in the 1960s, late 1960s here. What's the difference? Rowan? Yeah, so what Rowan's telling us is that women took over male roles during the World War II. They've gone back to housework, and now they're starting to work, but they're not doing those technical factory mechanic type jobs, are they, in this advert? They're doing admin and librarian work, which could be seen as more feminine type work. Okay, now let's consider one from the 1980s, and remember we've got to consider who's using the product and who it's marketed to.
Oh, Mum. Sorry, Mum.
Every day in a million ways, every home needs topic. Every home needs topic.
Okay, Seb, you look pretty keen to comment on this one. What did you notice?
That the mum's cleaning up after the kids.
Okay, yeah, and what does that suggest to you? Justine, what do you think it suggests?
That the mother's a housewife.
Yeah, it suggests that mum is at home. Mum's looking after the kids and cleaning. Is that what you thought, Daniel? Yep, you agree? Okay, so where do you think Dad is in this situation? Toby? Yeah, Dad's probably at work. Yep. So it's depicting a story where Mum might work. We saw in the other ads that Mum worked in admin and as a librarian, but it's still expressing that Mum's the cleaner as well, and Mum's at home looking after the kids, doesn't it? The last ad we're going to consider is 2003.
PinoClean presents the Facts of Life. Fact: PinoClean multi-purpose cleaner with grease cutting power and natural orange oil gets stuck into grime and wipes out germs in seconds. Fact: it's not clean unless it's PinoClean.
Yes, that a man and woman are cleaning instead of just a woman.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think that suggests?
A bit more gender equality.
Yeah, a bit more gender equality. Interesting, because now the man and the lady are cleaning, so that would suggest that they're a bit more equal. They both take on the roles of cleaning and possibly working as well. Okay, that's fantastic, everyone. I'm really proud of the way that you've all contributed to that discussion, and I think that some of your thoughts were extremely critical, so really good work. And I'd like you actually, as a little assignment, to go home and while you're watching television tonight, just use those critical thinking skills to consider some of the aspects we've looked at today. Maybe consider what are the gender roles in some of these ads depicting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on. What we'll do is divide the class into 7 different groups, so about 3 people per group, and each group is going to end up with a decade. Now within those groups you need to go off to the library and the computer area, and you need to find 1 primary source, 1 secondary source and 1 other source for your decade that either supports or opposes the gender position. So I'll just repeat that for you and I'll write it on the board in a moment. You need to collect 1 primary source, 1 secondary source and 1 other source that can be primary or secondary of the gender role depicted in the decade, which we've just kind of got a bit of an overview from the ads we've just watched. And you need 1 that opposes it. Okay, so what's a primary source? Josh? Yep, so maybe another ad. Okay, from the era, yes. And Justine? Yep. So, yep, newspaper, magazine from the actual decade. Perfect. And what's a secondary source? Thomas? It's okay, have a think. No, just wait, Justine. Yeah, so Thomas has got it. So it could be a book that's speaking about the particular era and the gender issue in the era. Okay, so has everyone got that? We have to have a mix of primary and secondary sources, don't we? Okay, so we'll divide the class into groups now. So I'll take these guys here